whether it's consciously or unconsciously, and just pocket it and carry it around without realizing we're carrying this stuff around, you know. And the same goes to in other areas of our lives as women too. We take on things that we don't need to take on, and that slows us down in going too fast. Because if we grow too fast, we're money hungry, we're following the money god, we're all kinds of things that makes us feel so bad that we stop doing it. And all it does is put a hindrance in us going forward and doing the things we know we were made to do. We are strong. We're behind, you know, we've been told that we're behind the men we're supposed to cheer them on. And although people say we are modern and we don't do that anymore, part of us still does. And it's always surprising when you catch yourself that that's what you're doing in different forms. And so today, that's why I thought I want to really talk about the business and the saleswoman.
Yeah, and we're not saying that you're not going to be a cheerleader for those people that are important in your life. We're just saying that you also need to give yourself the same support.
Yes.
Or,
yes.
Or more.
Exactly. Very more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I have about 3 things I want to have. 3 things I'm going to cover today, and then next week I'm going to cover another 3, and then I'll put the whole quiz in there. So I pick out a few out of there. But before I even go into the 3, I have this little ad. I'm going to talk about this little ad, right? Mm-hmm. So you see ad says, help wanted, no prior experience, flexible hours, salary, and opportunity is unlimited. When a guy see a sign like that,
mm-hmm.
he'll just go do it. We stop and we're questioning, first thing, could we do it? Now, part of our brain start picking. It's flexible hours, so I have the kids. If I have children, this is great. Salary, this is great. Unlimited opportunity. I like the idea, but would my husband be okay with it? Would I have to leave the children? We go into all the different scenarios before we apply for the job. Good or bad, and I'm not the good or bad answer here. You pick which one you want, but I'm giving you the scenario so you can start thinking about it. Because we take those same skills, those same behavior, those same way thought process, and take it over into our businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And most times we do not realize it until we are at the brink where there's no money coming in, the business is not making money, because we haven't spent that time developing that where we should be. Now, most people say to me, you know, Karen, what are you talking about? I'm all busy in my business doing X, Y, and Z. But are you working on those things? Are you really? Or everybody's taking over? Because it makes, let me tell you, when I put certain rules in my home, it makes me feel bad. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I just have to brave it and go through. I get flagged. I get people saying to me, not in, full-fledged saying to me, but I know what they're saying to me. And I know sometimes you might not have the family member who might bluntly say to your face, but they say things to you when you are positioning yourself. And sometimes even when you finish positioning yourself, but now you're working through, they try to make you feel so bad that you can't do as well as you should do. Because human beings are selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings are selfish. So that's why I want you to wrap your mind around that. So you see an ad and it says help wanted, no prior experience. It's not true. It's just an ad to draw you in. Because once you're an adult, you have experience. Period. You have experience. One of the things I've learned over time is the experiences I have when I apply for a job, regardless of what the job description says, I could take my experience and turn it into what they want, if I so desire. Because a man might apply for that job, and he's no brighter than you, but you have sold yourself short, and he has just dived in. That's the only difference. And again, the reason I'm bringing this up is because sometimes I talk across the board all the time, but I really want to talk about women in business and in sales and all the different things we do. And so it leads me right into the 3 topics that I'm going to talk about today, the 3 questions, if you will. And that's in the quiz. Who manages more things at once? Who puts more effort into their appearances? Now, I know some men do. Well, who doing more? Because even though men do, they got to put on a suit or put on a top or whatever and leave. We are lipstick, makeup, foundation, earrings. We put more effort. Who usually takes care of the details? Most men will hire a woman secretary faster than a male secretary, even though you could do the job. Probably good. Why? Because we pay attention to details. Now, every woman do it? No. But the majority of us do, and I'm talking about the majority of people.
And we tend to have more emotional intelligence. You know, we can tell when we're talking to someone and the light has gone out of their eyes. They're no longer excited about it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And just keeps right on talking. It's like there's some kind, and I think they tend to call that woman intuition. I just think it's just because we're nurturers and we tend to look for those cues. Lakeisha says we have transferable skills. And I think one of the things you're saying, Coach, is that, remember in the 70s when they said, now you can list all your volunteer work on your resume? Because all of that stuff goes into running businesses, running institutions, and managing people. If you got 18 kids and you're balancing that act, you probably could run a corporation.
For sure. One of the biggest things when I see, or I'm never really involved in it, but see people talk about how we could do things better and how we could work along better together. It's one of the biggest things is if you really want to work together as a community, you might not be able to make money right away, but those are skills you can't pay for. And that's what Terry just said, volunteering. Like you can be and learn things. Because when you're volunteering and people know that it's free, they don't have to pay you, you get way more out of them, by the way. You get way more out of them. They're way more relaxed. So,
yes, they used to call that internship, remember?
Yeah, so they allow things because they're like
apprenticeship.
You know, so once you understand that you manage a lot of things at once, you understand that you're a good manager. It doesn't mean you have to do everything. You just have to understand what you do, because that's when we get carried away. Because I don't want you to go over to the other side. I don't want you to manage everything, but I want you to manage the things that you manage and understand that you manage them. Now, okay, so I manage my household. And the first time I wrote down the things that I do, I was in shock at me. I know I do a lot, but on paper, I need papers. And then I categorize them, and then I cross-categorize them. Crap. This is all the stuff I do.
You know something? I think for those of us who are on the other side of, the whole raising children and stuff, we look back and we don't even know how we did it. How did you do it, friend? How did you get to work, get the kids out to school, pack lunches, take care of a husband, make sure all his uniforms are done, and you're dressed and out the door and work all day and come back home and do it again? What?
It's some of them skills that Karen was just talking about. When you go down and write down and itemize everything you do, then you see how you did it. Because
not to mention the taxi service we were running.
Oh yeah, that was big time. Church activities in the afternoon, game for the boys.
Yeah, sports. Yeah.
I mean, I start saying pick like who's going where, because we're just going to one. We're not going because we'll drop off, continue drop off, pick up, and then somebody's got prices in the middle. Of the whole drop off and pick up story. And I might have a client who's leaving me and I'm trying to figure out how that's going to get done. And so I want you to think about all those things. And here's why I come back to what I talked about last week. Putting it up on your wall, having it visible, so that you remind yourself when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like I can't do it, when you feel like, oh my God, how am I going to make that sale? You went and negotiate with your child coach about where he's going to stand and which bat he's not going to hold and who's bullying him. That's the same skill that you're going to take and sell somebody something. You negotiate. You understand how this thing works.
You know what? I'm laughing because we are so much better than this at this. I mean, and here's an example. I had a friend who was a manager of a major store in a mall. For some reason, the alarm went off at 3 a.m. So all the managers have to show up. The guy, head manager, takes a broom and knocks the alarm off the wall. He said, you know what? He knocked it off the wall and said, everybody home. We're going home. We're going to get some sleep. You know, is this the way your manager raises?
Hopefully he went to check to find out why the alarm went on in the first place.
All of that had been done. But in the meantime, he just hit the thing because he didn't want to hear it.
No, he's just like, this is done. And then we'll fix it after.
All the female managers are standing around like, really? He's in charge?
Yeah.
But you know what he did? He made a decision and was going to take care of the consequences later.
Okay.
And he wasn't afraid. I believe part of what Karen is sharing with us is also not being to be fearless, because we did all of those things fearlessly.
Absolutely, they had to be done. So we just, and that's why I said when I look back, I'm like, how did I even manage all this stuff, juggle all this stuff?
Because you never allowed the thought of I can't to enter your head. You never allowed the thought of, well, there was not an option for it's not going to get done.
Exactly.
And so you went in fearlessly because you didn't think about, I think a lot of time fear comes when we think about the stuff that has to get done and we dwell on or how if you just jump in and start doing stuff.
When you think about it, come about. When you think about it, just come about, because you are allowing that. It's like the people who, I want to make myself, I don't know, a head wrap. And I'm going and asking 20 people, how do I make a head wrap? Well, wrap your head. And then you don't like it, and then rewrap your head and rewrap your head. Eventually, you've got a pattern of how to wrap your head.
Okay.
Wrap your head, you're done.
There you go.
Some people are going to like the head wrap and some not going to like the head wrap. And that's okay. It's like multi-talented people. They tell everybody all the time how multi-talented they are, but they're producing nothing. Like, stop telling people how multi-talented you are and then produce over here, and then over here, and then over here. But understand, don't be the technician forever. You've got to sell what you produce.
Yes.
And so today we're talking about sales, but I'm also talking about mindset, and I'm going to skirt around the money eventually. Why? Because that's what I do. That's what I come in and talk about. And because this month is on sales, I really wanted to understand sales from a personal standpoint. You see, when we start talking about what we're going to look like later, and, you know, we're doing today for later, sometimes you get caught up in, I can't plan for tomorrow because God's different for today. Yes, but He still gives us wisdom.
He did not mean for you not to plan for tomorrow. He just meant be willing to change that plan if He says to do something else.
Yeah.
He did not
live in the presence. He said live in the present. So planning doesn't take you away from listening to the present. Actually, planning allows you to live presently. Because when you plan it out and it sit there, your mind, every time your mind says, I got to do something, you say to your mind, hello, it's written already. My month is done. What are you talking about? And then it goes away. But it returns. But it only keeps returning when you have everything set up. Now, I'm a planner, so of course things are planned in advance. That doesn't mean I don't get reminders, but I have a place to send that thought to.
That's good.
Just like I talk about money need work, your thought need a place to go. It's like I had designed a dress and I wanted it to be, it was a complicated design if you really look at the thing, okay? But I had this vision in my head and it was going to play out, regardless of what was going on. So every time it comes up that can't fit there, I release it, I let it go, and I do something else, and I come back with fresh thoughts. Now, once I finish that dress, I have a place to go to as reference and say, remember when I made that dress that was crazy, complicated with darts and folds and crosses, and I figure it out? I could figure this out of crapper. Now, maybe not at this moment, but I could figure it out. I just give myself permission to figure it out. And that's the same thing in sales. You have to understand that if you're going to do sales online only, and I'm not recommending it, but if that's all you're going to do, you're going to have to be 120% online, which means as much as you might want to do certain things, you're going to have to. You're going to have to messenger about 100 people a day. Yes, I just said it, 100 people a day. You're going to have to get into their messenger and talk to them. Can't sell them right away, but you're going to have to go in there. You're going to have to build scripts so that you're going to talk to them today, you're going to talk to them on Wednesday, you're going to talk to them on Friday. It's going to be just an emailing. Then you're going to have to spend a lot of email time. You're going to have to do those scripts again. You're going to have to blog probably every day. Yes, I'm going to tell you once a week. Every day I'm going to encourage you to blog at least for 90 days so that people see you. You're going to have to do things on your website so it can crawl, so CEO can find you. All those things that you hear about. Your job is going to be strictly doing this. Then you're going to have to go out and find people to interview you so people can know your story. You're going to have to start interviewing people so people can know you want to hear about other people. You're probably going to have to do live shows. You're probably going to have to be on Instagram, Pinterest. People tell you one, you're going to have to study all of them. Twitter, because you are not wanting to go outside. You're wanting to stay inside. You still got to sell. You still got to say a product. You have to be diligent on what happened in your timeline online. And then you can set aside some, downtime where you just scroll through. And that's be a downtime when you finish work in your downtime. But you'll be spending a lot of time online doing all the things that's going to get you. You're going to have to go find the right groups, a group to social in, a group to learning, a group to teach in, and a group to sell it. Are you going to sell in all those groups? Yes, but they're going to cause you to sell differently in each group. Some groups do not allow you to sell. But while you're in there, you're still going to sell. You'll sell by teaching and you'll sell by helping somebody. That's how you'll sell. Might can get a sale right away, but that's how you'll sell. So all the skills we're talking about here is we're going to apply. And it's harder online to apply. There's no question. Anybody tell you unless they're lying. Unless they're copyright, it's harder to sell online, but you're still going to sell online because why? You've taken care of you first. Whoever you are. I'm taking care of Karen first. I'm going to be online. I'm going to be on the screen. I got to have my hair right. Even if it's a day I don't want to wear makeup, it's fine. I don't have to wear makeup. Let's say, for instance, you're selling, Terry sell clothing online, right? That's her day. She come every Thursday and she sell. That's what she's doing. But if she decides to do lives, she's not going to just sell other than her clothing. If Terry decides this is my business, I'm going to, she can have to talk to people differently too. Like I see some people who do service business. And I was considering it myself. I might talk about what's cooking for dinner, get the camera in the kitchen, talk about a recipe, get people going, get people following me, building them up. That's because I don't want to go outside. And so I'm putting everything I have online. I encourage you to balance both. Get outside and online. I like the combination. And if you're a starter, I like it better for you. It's going to push you, it's going to force you, and you'll get results faster. Because let's face it, if you're not getting results, you want to quit. You want to quit. That's a human thing. You want to quit. And if you have nobody cheering you, then you definitely want to quit. You want to quit, you want to get a job, and as soon as you get paid and the money's gone, you're like, I can't believe this is the crap I did to myself. But yet you're doing it because you have to. You see that you have to pay your bills. If people say, I don't like, especially when you say, I don't like talking about money, I get things done, I don't want to talk about money. I'm like, when you're broke, that's what you do. You talk about money all the time, more than people with money. You tell your friends, here's how you talk about money. Let's go on a trip. Girl, I don't have money to go on this trip. Kids ask you for something. I don't have money to do this. And you're talking about it consistently, not in a positive manner, but they're in the manner of I don't have it. So, of course, you keep going away because you don't have it. So every time you say you don't have it, it just dribbles away. And people said to me, oh, you can't tell my money's dribbling away? Oh, you dribble away so fast, you don't ever know it. Your money dribble away so fast. It's like savings, right? Your dribbles make your savings climb. But most people want to save a whole chunk at one time. Don't do that. Like, if you want to, if you've never saved, you should probably save $10 a week versus $40 or $50 a month, because it's just easier on your brain and your being. Your being feels better saving smaller amounts.
That is so enlightening, because we tend to do the big picture. Okay, I got to get $1 million. Okay, no, let's start with $5,000. Let's see you make $5,000 next month. And if that number seems really big to you, then you start with a smaller number. Okay, if you have zero money, then maybe your goal is to make $1,500 this month.
And that's okay.
See that small little number, and then the next month you'll see a little bit bigger, but you got to get used to seeing it. I tell my real estate clients, when this is their first time buying a house and they've been paying $500 or $600 a month, and now you have a mortgage that's $1,200 a month. We need to practice paying $1,200 a month so that when that mortgage payment comes due, you're not freaking out like, oh my God, what am I going to do? You're going to pay the $1,200, even though you've only been doing $5. You can do this. You have to practice paying $12. I don't care if you put the money in the bank and set it to the side. You have to practice $12.
Yes, and it's a good. I used to help realtors speak to their clients about budgeting to get to buy a house. That's something I was offering, and because a friend, we just used to be at a meetup. I had a real estate friend, and she said, "Kind, this would be a good thing to help my clients with." And she didn't want to take the course, so she would go in and do it, and it would be a package together that she charged, and I get money's off of. And so I told the client this too. I said, she was living in a tree tub. Well, it's not here. So if the money difference make it sound high, that she was paying rent for about $3,000. And I said to her, why don't you, when you look for something that's more cheaper, but I want your brain to still work off of the $3,000. So everything you do, because she's a businesswoman, everything you do, you have to keep. This has to be in your brain, on paper, on your phone. I don't care how many places, probably need about 7 places to let yourself know that you need to still consider yourself paying $3,000 a month. So she got a place at $2,500. And I said, you're to consider it and still put the $500 into the bank as if though you're paying this, because we're going to do different things later. And I'm saying this to show you how the human brain works. Of course, she got relaxed once she was paying just $2,500, and she could never find the $5 to go into the bank. But she was finding it to pay to a landlord.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But she could never find it. And she moved because the person was different notice because she was wanting to sell her home. So that's why she had to move from there. But she was comfortably paying the landlord $3,000. Yet when she got a place for $2,500, she couldn't find it. And she was very upset with herself. She was like, Karen, I know you told me to do it. I can't find a way to do it. I can barely meet the $2,500. No, you have allowed yourself to get relaxed. Remember, talk about comfort, how it's not a great thing. When you are comfortable, you don't do certain things. So she was so bummed out about the $5 that she can't put away that even when I said, okay, just put away $20 a week until you can get yourself back up there, she just fought me on putting the $20. Because in her mind eyes, the $20 a week would only cost her to be $80, and she's still holding on to, I can't find the $5. Now, we will get her to the $5 back, but we have to recondition her mind because her focus just slipped. That's all it is with this money and sales and all this stuff. Our focus slipped. And once we could just say to ourselves, it slipped. See, guys, that's why this is a woman thing I'm talking about today. Guys forgive themselves like this and move on. We hold. Now, our holding is good, but in some areas, it's not good.
Let it go.
It's so hard for us to let things go. That's why I love, chanting and just getting rid of stuff, because we hold it so dearly. Like, I have to remind myself when thoughts of my heart should visit me. It will visit me. I'm not immune to this stuff that I talk about, but I had to find ways to say, we are friends. Why are you visiting me? We're not friends. Go away. We're not talking. I don't talk to them. I mean, why am I encouraging them? The thought comes, I recognize it, and I release it. If you're not there yet, recognize the thought. I am poor, or I was poor. I have no money. How did this happen to me? Have the dialogue. Don't hold on to it. Don't carry it into the afternoon. Definitely not the evening, and certainly not in the night. Because next morning you're going to wake up with no friends like it. Reminding you about all the drudgery. You don't need it. Talk with them if you must. But I encourage you to find a way to get rid of them. There's all kinds of things you could look up and use. Get rid of them. Prayer helps, but in the meantime, I'm not saying prayers don't help. Prayer helps. Prayer helps. But I know for the immediate, you need to find things for the immediate and continue prayer. There's not one or the other.
Yeah,
I do prayers, and if you do too, you want to focus on your prayers. You want to have things to combat it. But sometimes you need immediate conversation, like you need to ask if you leave. Like just simple things. You need to, I don't want to visit with you. You're not my friend. We're not friends. We're not friends. We're not talking.
So you have to, so you're saying take control of your thoughts.
Yes.
And then I was reading this morning, taking control and take them captive. Like, no, you don't get to do this today.
Yes.
And this is you talking to you. And a lot of people may think, oh, that sounds a little weird. No, it's a little weird if you let that thought keep going on and then and it hijacks you someplace that you don't want to be.
Yes, so, because you nurture it.
Right.
You nurture that thought. My mom says, I've been talking to myself since I was a kid. I'm always a child that spoke to herself. And it always seems to clear things up. I always have been a child who spoke to myself and get things squared away and moving right along. That just has been my personality. And I realized as I got older what service it had done for me. It really has allowed me to clear things up. I get things squared away so that I can move on to my next activity. And I really need you. Before I go on back into the sales, let me just pause for a minute and talk about money. And I just spoke about taking the small amounts and watch it grow. Because everybody, if you're born into money, fine. But the person who first made the money, they started out very, very small. And they grow that money and they use it. You know, they research, they figure out, they let their intuition guide them, and they grow that money that you are spending if you were born into money. But nobody started with everything. Nobody started with everything. Everybody starts small. So I don't care how old you are and you're worried that, I'm going to retire soon and I don't have enough money. If that's your case, you still have to start small. Why? Because it allows you to understand how money works, how you manage it, and what happened. And I've given this exercise before, and I don't know if you guys did it. If anybody did it, I'll listen. But if you didn't, this is a really good exercise. And this was on mine. Somebody that follows me had given it to me, and I just love sharing it. I have a different one that I'd use, but this one I find it was really, really simple. Whereas you put down, they were telling you how much money you could make in a certain amount of time, and if that's your desire, straight and fine. But what it does more than anything else is allow you to understand how you feel, how you genuinely feel about money, and your fears. Everything come up when you do this exercise. So you say day 1, you put 5 cents. Day 2, you double it each day, and you decide if you want to do it for 30 days, 24 days, 27 days, how many days. Here's the part that really freaks people out. When you get to like day, and I keep it with me because I talk about it a lot. So let's say you at day 24, right? And you are only putting down $12.80. And then you get to day 25, that's $25.60. And day 26, $51.20. And day 27, you're at $102.40, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you stay comfortable. Here is when people start panicking. You get to day day 29, day 30, whatever day you're in at that time where the big numbers start getting big. And if you don't make that kind of money per week, you are freaking out that that's what you need to save per day. That's all it's doing to you. Your job is to find out from yourself, nobody else, why it's making you feel like that. Do you feel like that because you can't make that sort of money? Or are you feeling like that because it's wrong for you to own that kind of money? Or are you feeling bad because, you know, people are starving in Africa or India? That's why this is coming up. Is it all because somebody told you shouldn't have this kind of money? Or is it because you looked at rich people and think that they're scums of the earth and they're taking all the money of the earth? You know, ask yourself those questions, because those blockage is stopping you also from making money, but making the sale to make the money. Most time you don't want to make a sale to make that money, because when the money comes to you, you have to deal with all those feelings inside of you that you have pushed them and don't want to acknowledge. It's okay if you're afraid of money. Just need to know why, so you can shift that and actually receive it. That's when you're going to sell to people. You're not going to sell to anybody, because we're talking sales. We're talking sales, but we're also talking money and mindset, because it's stopping you to come full force. If somebody said, no way, you see, that's what Jane had said, you know, that I would have never come to anything. So that's no wonder, you know, Fran is not buying from me, and Terry didn't like what I had. And, you know, Lakeisha, well, she tell everybody my stuff is not good. Nothing like that happened. But because you've been building up this self-talk, this is how you're everybody else except me. She said no because maybe she's not ready for what you have. But that doesn't mean it's no. It's like, I'm not ready for what you have, but I might know, you know, John that could use your service. And if she tells John and John don't know, but you did it in a good way, then John is going to be able to tell Jason about it. And that's what you really want. You want all those people to be, you know, that's what they talk about the 80-20 rule, right? Once you got everything down packed, you just need 20% of the people to buy from you, not the 80. The 80 is going to scatter in a couple of dollars on you. But the 20% of the people are going to buy from you. I mean, the first time I read up on this thing and listened to it and hear, I said, this is the stupidest thing ever. I'm not going to lie to you. And here's why. Why would you keep buying from me when there's so many people to buy from me? But it's not true. Because my cleaning clients, they always want to know where they can find a gardener, where they can find an electrician, if they need a plumber. They ask me all the time. So if I wanted to do a referral service, I could have. The way I can have everybody pipe through me. That's another way I could make an income. They can come through me and I got a referral fee, and then I just hand them out to these people. Right. So they keep buying from you if you want them to buy from you. And there's no fear anymore. But I used to think that they couldn't buy so much from me. And it's not true. But we give ourselves that permission. So by the time you get to all these days, right, and you start needing to save like 3,000, you know, something a day, 6,000, 12,000, you're like, this is crazy. This is just saving. The other thing is, when you start putting your money in, it starts making you money. The easiest, if you're not used to money and answer those questions, you start saying, well, like we have this program here where if you put $50,000 in the bank, you get $450 a month. And you literally get a $450 a month. Every month it goes into your bank account. But you can wait at the end of the year, put it back into the 50,000 and allow it to earn more money for you. And when a new program comes, you can dump it in there again and let it earn more money. That is money working for you. You work for the money already. That's why most of us has been millionaires for years, and we haven't done anything about being a millionaire. We just, well, that's not true, Karen. I paid all these bills. Yes, I understand. I'm not getting into that today. But sales, you're blocking your sales because your mind has told you a whole bunch of things. And you are afraid of the money that's going to come in. Because you've got proof that you had the money before, if you were that person, and you have blazed the money through. Or you've shopped it out. And now you have to be punished because you did this. It's over. Another cent away. I spend a lot of money. I'm broke. I don't have any money. But when it comes this time, I am going to do the best I can. I'm going to save $10 a week. That's $40 a month. That's it. Which means I need to make up over and above $40 so I could save the $40. That's your job. Don't worry about the rest. And next month, I need to double that sale. And the other month, I need to double that sale. Within a year, I need to make X amount of dollars. And if you're not sure right now how you're going to make it, put that number up, 100,000, 50,000, I don't care what number it is. And every day your job is to ask yourself, how am I going to do it? And how close I am getting to earning that. And so your brain is going to work. If you say it in the night, your brain have enough time when you're resting to give you ideas when you get up in the morning. Usually my ideas come in the washroom, and most people it's water. You put on the tap and it starts to flow. But we question the ideas. We decide that it can work. Whatever we were told to do doesn't seem possible. Because again, the people we know is not doing it. And we can't do it. And we wouldn't do it. And we fuss about it. A friend of mine building a house somewhere else. And for example, and she paid for a roof, for example. And the guy screwed up the roof and she lost all that money. And we talk about it, part of her, she says, pardon me, Karen, I just want to scrap the whole thing. But I know I can't because she's a go-getter like I am. So she doesn't know where she's going to scrap it. But her whole being. So I said to her, take a week. Just take a week and breathe. Cry if you have to. Scream if you have to. But your house still need a roof. So where's the new guy to put up your roof? She's like, I'm on it. Then Wednesday she called me. She's like, you know what? I got a new guy who's going to do the roof. I know it has to come out of my pocket. I'll pay for the whole roof. You look after it. He said to me he's going to put a temporary roof because rain season's coming earlier this year. And now she has to pay for a full roof. The kind of mind you have to pay for a whole roof versus saying, I just lost, I don't know, $25,000, $30,000 on a roof. It is not easy, but it has to be done. So their job is to, hubby gonna have to work some overtime. I'm gonna have to take on a couple other clients. How do I set this up to pay this guy to do the roof? And instead of you fighting up in your head, you call him up right away and you say, hey buddy, I need a new roof, but I can't pay the whole thing one time. What are you willing to take? I'm not trying to discount your price. I just want to know, what are you willing to take and the stages you're willing to take it in? And they work out a deal. And he's willing to take it in stages because he understood what happened before. Wow. Her roof is up.
Man, this was good. This was really good. So I'm encouraging everybody who's just tuning in to go back and listen to the replay. And if you're watching on YouTube, go watch it on the replay. Listening on the podcast, rewind it and listen to it again, because there were some very key things that Karen shared today that will help you, especially with your thinking about money. Go back and listen to it again. It's well worth it. And she'll be back next week to finish talking about sales. But today was all about women in sales.
Wow.
And it's a different dynamic. So share this with someone that you know needs to hear it. Take notes and follow Karen at Island Girl Hustle everywhere.
And work on whatever it is you need to work on. You don't have to tell anybody about it. Just work on whatever you know you need to work on. Don't be afraid to work on you. The better you are with you, the easier it's going to be with anybody else. But you've got to work on you. And working on you is messy. It's just all it is. It's just messy.
Right. Wow. So with that in mind, we want to remind you about the conference that's coming up on Saturday in Sacramento, the Women in Business Conference. You should join in.
Nice.
Come back on next Wednesday and hear more from Coach Karen. Every Wednesday, put it on your calendar. Set it up so that you get a reminder. It will be here live on Facebook and on YouTube, but come back. Terry, is there anything you want to add?
I just want to remind everybody, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. And what happens on Thursday, Fran?
We're talking health and wellness.
So all about come back. You need to be healthy in order to be wealthy.
Thank you.
Come get some tips on how to take care of yourself.